Welcome to Talk Tarot. Hi Pisces, this is your Karmic Life Lessons reading for the summer solstice from the 21st of June to the winter solstice, the 21st of December. In this reading, we're going to have a look at the energies that we're moving out of and what we're going into, and the situations that may arise, which will give us the opportunity to learn life lessons and balance any karma. Overall, looking at the reading, it would appear we are leaving a period of low energy, of sadness, of disappointment. And whilst we're carrying that through to the next 6 months with us, we are actually learning from that experience, and there is some joy coming your way. Whilst I was shuffling the deck, I could not get the song Marry Me by Train out my head. That marry me today and every day. That one, it's actually a beautiful song. However, I feel that I've got some Pisceans out there who have either been jilted at the altar or who have had a proposal turned down. And on the other end of it, we have Pisces who are liable to be getting proposed to. Let's just jump into the reading now. In the first position, we have the Five of Cups in reverse, the Chariot and the Eight of Cups. This position relates to the lessons that were available for us to learn from the winter solstice of 2017 through to the summer solstice this year. I think it's fair to say that for my Pisces, it's been a rather up and down past 6 months. That Five of Cups there shows a depressive energy, a loss, a feeling of lack of connection and emotional affection. The Chariot shows us progressing away from that, and indeed the Eight of Cups actually shows that we've turned those 5 cups the right way up. However, there are still 3 cups that are overturned. The Eight of Cups speaks to us moving on, as does the Chariot, but with the Eight of Cups, with those 3 overturned cups, we are looking to restore what's missing in our life. We are looking to recapture joy and the bliss of the Nine of Cups. The Eight of Cups there looks lonely. You can see the shipwreck in the background, almost isolated on the island. The cups may suggest that he has drank everything that there is to drink. So some of my Pisces may have been going through a little period of overindulgence in alcohol, certainly with the Five of Cups in reverse. That can be a card that I would associate with alcoholism or binge drinking. I do get the feeling that there's someone who's a recovering alcoholic. The Chariot card there shows that you've made great progress, well done with that, but that you're feeling that there's a lack of excitement in your life. I wonder if the Five of Cups in that position was referring to that jilted feeling. There is something almost marital about the lace that's sitting across the Five of Cups knee, and also that shawl. You can see it's winter outside the window, so feeling left out in the cold there. Leaves are falling off the tree, indicating a lack of abundance or indicating basically a death or stagnation of something. It seems that perhaps for some of my Cancers you were in a relationship, possibly still are, that you chose to work on that relationship, with the Chariot card there being there, which is a reconciliation of the opposing energies of the lovers, and that it's still not fulfilling you and it's time to move on with the Eight of Cups. And that moving on energy of the Chariot and the Eight of Cups is what we're taking into the next 6 months with us. I feel also that there is someone who has either lost someone or something in a vehicle accident, and I can only express my sorrow at your loss. Moving on to the next position, we see the Three of Swords, the Star and the Four of Pentacles in reverse. This position relates to the lessons that are yet to be learned from our previous cycle. And for my Pisceans, it looks like the lesson with the Three of Swords there and the Star is how to heal a broken heart. You haven't quite learned how to heal a broken heart. The Four of Pentacles adds that feeling of being unable to let go, and it is in the reverse there, which makes me think that you're now moving into a healing period, that you will be able to let go of this hurt. It may be an old hurt. I feel this is more recent than that, Obviously, again, the Three of Swords, that seems very funereal to me, reinforcing that feeling of loss that some of my Pisceans may be experiencing at the moment. With grief, it will take you as long to heal as it takes. Don't let anyone guilt you or push you into feeling any other way than you truly do. There is healing energy available for you. Now, the star card in this deck is rather interesting. That star, like you see at the top, with the line coming down where it's obviously hitting something in the background, that's actually the reverse view of the Hermit card. So healing will be found for my Cancers during a period of reflection, meditation, probably a period of loneliness or isolation. Certainly the Five of Swords and the Five of Cups and the Eight of Cups from your previous three cards do suggest that you have been in a period of isolation. The Four of Pentacles can suggest I need to let it all out when it's in that reverse position, that you've been holding on to this grief. You've never had that cathartic cry. You've never gave yourself a chance to experience these emotions and express them and let them go. And that could be an important lesson for you in the next 6 months. If we fail to learn our lessons, they will keep repeating and recurring. If you don't learn and let go of harmful emotions, things which cause harmful emotions will keep popping up in your life, just to teach you the lesson of how it feels to let them go. Sometimes it's forgiveness you need to be able to let something go, especially if there's a three-party situation with the Three of Swords. It can often indicate that. However, I really get the feeling I'm speaking to a male Piscean, and there's a need to jump in the shower, cry and deal with your emotions instead of putting on that masculine facade that we see with the Three of Swords. You're not quite as stone-hearted as you try to appear. In the next position, we are looking at karma, which needs to be balanced. Now, obviously, karma works both ways. Sometimes we're the recipients of karma, sometimes we're the deliverers of karma. In this position, we have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Swords, and Temperance in reverse. Pisces, it could very well be that you need to make amends to your family, to your friends, to your workplace even, if you have used your words carelessly, harshly, or even violently, whilst inebriated or otherwise not acting in a temperate manner. Now, Temperance in reverse can also suggest aggression. It can suggest a lack of self-control, and these cards are suggesting that you need to sit down, express truthfully and authentically what you were going through, what you are going through. Basically make an explanation and a sincere apology if you feel sorry. Obviously, if you don't feel sorry, you're not going to apologise. For others of my Pisces, I see that you need to write a letter to someone who has hurt you. The difference with this letter is you don't actually send it, but you express those emotions that have been repressed and trapping you. In the Four of Pentacles, I keep seeing a letter really clearly. You're going to be getting a message from someone who may have hurt you in the past, who've used their words violently, who have said nasty things about you, and your lesson within that will be to be able to express yourself cohesively, to let them know how you feel in an authentic and truthful manner without degenerating into pettiness. Certainly the Four of Swords says to me that you need a rest from a social circle, possibly a social circle that have been damaging in some way or leading you into areas of immoderation with Temperance in reverse. However, we previously felt that Pisces were feeling lonely, isolated. It could be that you've had a falling out with a social circle, and that needs to be amended by careful discussion. The Ace of Swords cuts both ways. You can use it to cut things out your life with mercy or with severity. And with Temperance in reverse, I think you've been cutting things out your life, Pisces, sort of haphazardly. A very all or nothing feeling, and it's time to perhaps mend bridges. During this period, you will be held to account for anything that you have said, anything that you have promised, or anything that you have written. Temperance is also a card that can speak to time. In the reverse position, It could speak to a lack of punctuality. It could speak to not keeping your promises. It could speak to running out of time to say something to someone that you had really, really wanted to say. Certainly that energy would fit in with that feeling of loss. Looking to the next three cards, we have the Magician, the Moon, and the King of Swords. Now, this is the position of the most important lesson for Pisces to learn during this solstice cycle from June the 21st to December 21st this year. With the Moon card there, which is the card that's representative of Pisces, right next to the Magician. This is a lesson which is going to invite you to rebuild yourself in your own power. There's also a lesson here regarding the negative and the depressive thoughts that you've been having. The lesson is that what we think, we attract. One negative thought will start a chain reaction of negative thoughts if you're unable to become conscious enough to say, right, hold on, I need to stop this, to regain your balance. If you find yourself captured or trapped in a period of negative thinking or in a chain of negative thoughts, when you become aware of it, start counting your blessings, start counting the things in life you're grateful for, because you did stick those 5 cups back up the right way, up the top there at what energy you were bringing in, so that it's still good in your life. The Magician card in and of itself is a very, very positive card. It says that you have all that you need. It says that you have an innate ability and innate power to go after what you desire, to become what you desire to be, I would say, with the Moon card right next to it. What I do feel is perhaps something that you have wanted was illusory with the Moon, as a card of deception often, and you're maybe going to come to realise that with that third eye being highlighted in the Magician card, or you've already realised that and now it's working out what you truly desire, what would benefit you most, and how you're going to achieve that, because we have the King of Swords there. Now, the King of Swords is a master strategician, and the Magician is a master manifester. The Moon card always speaks to me of evolution, with the crawfish kind of crawling out of the blue deep lagoon. So I feel that progressive energy that we had previously seen with the Chariot and the 8 of Cups is carrying through for the next 6 months. I'm very drawn to the 2 fish, which are linked via the mouth, almost reminding you that everything is all linked. Every single thing is interconnected and interwoven. For some Pisceans, I see that you are manifesting a relationship with a fellow Piscean. This relationship will be of a spiritual nature. It could well be romantic. It could be a kind of soulmate, twin flame type of energy. But it's definitely one that's going to benefit your spiritual evolution. Also, with the King of Swords there, I feel that with the Magician, you already know what has to be cut out of your life, or you're going to be shown in the next 6 months. You'll have another opportunity to observe what has to be removed from your life, and you have the opportunity to cut that out. Other Pisceans are feeling a bit cold. They've went completely aloof following a disappointment, and you're actually calling in a relationship with an aloof air sign, possibly Aquarius. It does show Libra on them. I think more Aquarius or Gemini for some reason. This Magician card here also shows very clearly that what we receive via our third eye, via our inner sight, we then filter through our perception. That's why you see the light coming from the 2 eyes. Perhaps you haven't been seeing things clearly with that Moon card, and you're about to have the truth revealed with the King of Swords being there. The most important lesson for you to learn, it would appear, is that everything that we see is filtered through perception. That perception is often faulty and illusory, and that getting to the truth of the matter with the King of Swords is what's pertinent in the next 6 months. Moving on now to the helpful influences that you will encounter in the next 6 months. These can be influences in the form of people, situations or places. We have the Hanged Man in reverse, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have the Prince of Swords. The Prince of Swords contains the Geminian energy that we had previously mentioned. The Hanged Man in reverse means a period of stagnation is over. I would say in context of the position, this is a need to get out more or join in something that gets you out of yourself more. And the Ace of Cups is bliss. It is happiness. It is a new beginning. It could be that the Hangman in reverse is saying that in the next 6 months we'll be moving from that period of disappointment. We'll be moving forward. As we get out more, we are going to encounter a Gemini, most likely a man, youngish, like maybe mid-20s to, I'll say 40, who is going to bring back that bliss to our life. And it does appear to be of a romantic nature with that Ace of Cups there. Now, the Gemini himself doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to be your partner. He could be a friend that introduces you to a new partner and reignites your passion for life, makes you feel as if your cup's running over, that beautiful new love feeling. The Hanged Man could also introduce a spiritual individual or someone who influences our spiritual practice during the next 6 months, again helping you achieve this new spiritual path, putting you in the path to wisdom. The final position speaks to the things to avoid in the next 6 months, and we have the Fool, the Four of Cups, and the Justice card. The Justice card is heavily associated with karma. The suggestion here is to be careful with what you're doing with the Fool card there, not to accrue any negative karma, not to get yourself involved in something that would be harmful to yourself further down the road or would have karmic repercussions. Avoid third party situations due to boredom in a relationship. Very drawn to the mask of the Fool, so avoid wearing a false face in order to curry favour or to get a loan. They say in order for you to get a loan, do not misrepresent your earnings or what you're doing. There's no money cards here, but I have to pass on what I hear. The Four of Cups is a card in this deck which I associate not only with missed opportunity but with indolence and laziness. So don't be lazy and miss a golden opportunity, because as you can see, one of those cups are shining. So don't overlook what you're being offered by your karmic lessons with the Justice card in attendance there. I'm drawn very much to the 4 windows on the Justice cards. Crown, tiara, whatever. It's kind of suggesting almost agoraphobia to me. This is twice I've seen agoraphobia with the water signs. A feeling of shutting yourself within and not experiencing the outer life. The Four of Cups in that case would certainly suggest that you've just had enough of the world. You don't care what it's got to offer and you've decided to shut yourself in. And the cards are really warning against doing that for the next 6 months. Full card would indicate a need to recover your innocence, your joy, not to be so jaded about the world, not to look at it through the eyes of fear, disappointment, hatred and revenge, but to look at it through the eyes of a child, to look at it through the eyes of wonder, to open yourself up to new experiences. The Fool card, when it's negatively aspected, can also warn against ignorance or have been taken in by a huckster, and we already have had the Magician, which, if it was in its negative aspect, could suggest trickery or someone out to play you. Use that inner wisdom that you have with the Magician and with the Justice card to see through the lies and deceit, because truth is a very important aspect of the next 6 months for all signs, I think, so far. Let's move on now. We'll have a look at which angels can help us during this period. From the Angel Sigil cards by Stuart Pearce, we have Hanael with a message of loyalty over that first position where we're talking about the energy that we could have learned from the past 6 months and what we're taking forward. Now, for some Pisces, what this message is that those 5 cups that were overspilled, that you turned back up the right way, they weren't so much a loss as they were a gift to have lost. You may have thought you had loyal friends who are no longer part of your social circle. You may have been involved even with a family situation. This could be relating to that jilted feeling, that exclusionary feeling. And the opportunity here is not only for you to display loyalty, but for you to learn about loyalty, to learn who's loyal to you, and to find your tribe. I'm very struck by the red in this card, especially with that Eight of Cups energy there. That feeling of depression, that feeling of barely taking care of your basic needs. Red is a colour, of the base chakra, which is associated with survival. It's almost as if Hanael is saying that you have been surviving but not living. For other Pisceans, you're being congratulated with a loyalty card on sticking to your principles and moving on from a situation that wasn't serving you or a situation that you found ethically reprehensible. Over the lesson that we have yet to learn section of the reading, we have Archangel Michael and a message of sovereignty. Michael reminds us with this message that we always have access to an inner reserve of power, that we are entitled to express our feelings, that we are entitled to have a life, as are others. There's a need to balance our own sovereignty with the sovereignty of others, each being a sovereign being. My eye is very drawn to the Sacred Heart in that picture. This was the section where we discussed having a broken heart, having not been able to let go of feelings, having disappointment, and kind of building an insurmountable wall around yourself. And Michael is saying that there is always the power of the heart, there's always the power of love available to you, and that you should love yourself and your sovereignty first, and then you'll be able to love another completely. Moving on to the karma that needs to be resolved, we actually have the resolution card from Archangel Raphael. Raphael does take care of the heart chakra. That green energy can be used to heal your heart chakra if you've got a broken heart. It is saying that there's a situation in your life which has caused some emotional pain that's going to be resolved. Remember, this is the position that we spoke about karma to be resolved. I think what it's saying is that you're going to receive a miraculous healing almost, or a spiritual healing in response to good deeds that you've done in the past, which is going to resolve a situation that you're experiencing at the moment. We need to remember that sometimes when a situation is resolved, it's not that it's annealed and healed, it's more that with that Ace of Swords, that there is a separation, but that is to allow you to heal, to grow, and to find true love, both for yourself and others. In the position of the most important lesson for you to learn in the next 6 months, we again have Archangel Raphael looking after Pisces, and he's bringing with him a message of harmony. I actually mistook those hands for doves, and there's that rainbow feeling to that, the rainbow signifying protection. Over the next 6 months, try to manifest and restore harmony wherever and whenever you can. You'll be fully supported by Archangel Raphael in doing so. You can call on your angels 24/7 at any point, any time. Our energy is much lesser than theirs, so it's not a chore for them to transmute it. It's like if you wanted something to eat and you had a crumb rather than the whole cake. That's our energy. We would be the crumb. It leaves plenty of room before you're full. And over the position of helpful influences, we have Raphael again. Looks like Raphael and his healing energy is going to be around my Pisceans a lot in the next 6 months. Here he brings a message of embrace. Now this is where we spoke about a new start in love, about getting out into the world more. And you can see here in this picture that they're only part people and they're part tree. It could be that you get involved in an environmental cause. It could also be just getting out and about in nature. But there's that feeling of having to re-embrace nature and re-embrace the world in order to heal and to find that love that we had spoke of in this section of the reading. Finally, we have Shamael with the Genius card over things to avoid in the next 6 months. The message of Genius is in sharp contrast to the Fool card, isn't it? This is a warning, if you like, not to rely on one's own intellect, that what we think we know in comparison of everything that there is to know and everything there is to discover is again a crumb in comparison to a cake. And not just a wee cake, like a 16 portion happy birthday wedding type cake. I think I must be hungry. I've got cake fixation all of a sudden. The solution to a problem is going to come in a genius way through Shamael, but it's going to be well outside what you would normally consider, or well outside the normal realm of what you would do when you're placed in a situation which would be better to be avoided. I think that's Einstein and Tesla who are represented on this card, both of which, whilst they had a sort of classic intelligence, they weren't rated highly as classically intelligent when they were at school. There could be a hidden genius within some of my Pisces that they haven't discovered yet, and this could be made through a spiritual connection, that they discover this hidden genius within themselves. Basically what Shamael is saying here is the divine intelligence, universal intelligence, will always surpass the individual human intellect, but equally that it can be accessed by human intellect when they're on the right wavelength. Let's wrap up by having a quick look at the Angels Therapy cards by Doreen Virtue and see what therapy has on offer for us. Okay, in that first position again, where we spoke of the energy we're taking from the past 6 months, the card is You Are a Powerful Light Worker, and the message on it is, it is safe for you to be powerful. Your spiritual power brings great blessings in loving service to the divine. I have no doubt that each and every one of us would be able to fit the description of light worker, perhaps not on a worldwide scale, but at least to one other person in our life. I feel that what this card is saying to you, Pisces, is that it's safe for you to be powerful enough to move on from a situation that you found emotionally, psychically, or spiritually harmful to yourself. This could be a codependent relationship where you feel that the other person is very much relying upon you and you almost feel trapped by their reliance. The message here is that it's safe for you to use that chariot energy and move on. It's a message reinforcing the fact that you can stand on your own 2 feet. As we move forward to the lessons yet to be learned, we have the Heart Chakra card. Strange with Raphael coming up so often. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love. That resonates beautifully with what we'd spoken about here, about this inability to express oneself when it's a male who is trying to live up to the alpha male stereotype and is unable to express his feelings, for feeling that his masculinity will be challenged. It's also for my people out there that I said we're having bother in letting go of those feelings of hopelessness, those feelings of betrayal, of hurt and despair. It's saying that the answer to your healing is already within you. You have to open yourself to both giving and receiving love. It's an invitation for you to be vulnerable in order to gain strength. In the karma that's still to be resolved position, we have the Goddess card, which states, express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. Again, this reinforces the emotional release that's required. Feminine energy is more emotional energy than the masculine logical energy. It's asking you to express your emotions and embrace its nurturing qualities. That's that healing that can come from the good old cry in the shower, from the letting out of all these repressed emotions, the magic that can come from saying something as simple as I love you. Also an invitation there to work on your intuition. The intuition is very much like any other skill. As you practice, as you develop it, so it expands, grows and becomes more reliable. Whoa. And on top of the Magician, at the position of what is the most important thing to learn for the next 6 months, we have the Law of Attraction card. And it's saying here that the relationships and activities that you once enjoyed no longer appeal to you. Very much resonating the rest of the reading. And that's why they're falling away. So that you can attract to you activities and relationships that are more supportive of the person you are now, Pisces. The Law of Attraction with the Magician is like a double dose of attraction power, of manifestation energy. It offers you an amazing ability for the next 6 months to Manifest what you require in your life, but also which will benefit you highly. So what's your thoughts over the next 6 months, Pisces? Look out for synchronicities and things that would confirm this reading or confirm your manifestation ability. For single Pisceans, this would be the perfect time for you to call on that soulmate that we spoke about earlier on, with the law of attraction so powerfully in your corner, or the magician ability so powerfully in your corner at the moment. Indeed, call on any resources that you're going to require to improve your life. Over the helpful influences portion of your reading, where we discussed the appearance of a soulmate, we have listened to your intuitive feelings. Your body is receiving accurate information. This is a beautiful card, absolutely divine energy. And again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on about how when we listen to our intuition, when we act upon our intuition, when we use it in our decision making process, that we are strengthening our intuition. We're also learning about the signs, the signals, the feelings in the body that we receive, which give us guidance so that it can be relied upon and accessed more quickly. Learning to use your intuition is really no different than learning to walk. At first it seems odd, ungainly and weird, and you're going to make a few missteps, but after a while it becomes automatic. You don't even have to think about it because you just know that it's there, you know how to do it. It's very quickly accessed by the mind. In the final position of things to avoid, we have the singing and dancing card, and I'm happy to report that does not mean literally do not sing, do not dance. The message on it says express yourself and awaken your psychic senses through the magical power of music and movement. This is actually where we spoke about not shutting yourself in. This is where we spoke about agoraphobic tendencies, isolation tendencies. This card is inviting you out to sing and dance. Get your groove on. This is a wonderful card to finish the reading with. It's a card that's inviting you to express your joy in life and rediscover the joy in life. Reconnect with others. Beautiful energy to finish up on, Pisces. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me. I hope this will be some help to you during the next 6 months. Thanks again for watching Talk Tarot. I'll be back on the 28th of June with your manifestation reading for the full moon. And Pisces, be blessed. Bye.